I've seen this talk of if you're not bullying each other, you're not real friends. Who are you to say that? The friend you're talking about is on suicide watch and having health problems. But because of the environment of your friendship, they don't feel comfortable enough to say that. Making fun is one thing, but bullying is a whole nother. I think banter is normal. I just don't think there's anything you can say a friendship needs in order to be genuine. You just have different types of relationships with different people. Some friends you might have a banter with and bully each other. Some friends you feel more comfortable cursing like a sailor. Others don't do that as much, but you share deeper, more meaningful emotions and experiences. Some friends can be both of those things, but both have their uses and shouldn't be diminished by saying they aren't genuine. My first thought is the people that would go against this would say, that's just gay, um, which I think is just a very first order way of thinking. There could be people that are totally fine with gay people, but still have this way of thinking. To them, I would say you're getting in the way of the male gender evolving. It's not physically, it's not, um, I was going to say mentally, but I think mental is part of the emotions, but it's definitely not physically. The only way is emotionally. Um, Having more friendships that you can share personal feelings with no judgment, just be able to sit and talk about an odd feeling with a person without them immediately shutting them off. I think that's a very important thing for a human to have. It's like a religious person talks to an atheist, and maybe they have some questions, but once they go back to their church, um, they just get consumed into the echo chamber and think, none of those really matter. Which I don't necessarily blame them for because that's all your friends are. That's where your connections are, right? You can't really blame them for that. At the same time, I'm not trying to say that if your all your friendships are filled with banter, it's bad. I'm trying to say that just try different things. Open up your mind a little bit. Try that relationship that has no, um, that's like pure positivity and see how that feels, right? I think the first thing someone would say is that's just fake. But if both people are making a good attempt to be like, this is what I want out of a relationship, right? Where it's like positivity. Whenever you try something new, I'm going to bring you up. I'm going to be like, yo, you can do this. I'm not going to just try to put you down. I've had friends that fall into all of these categories, and I probably will have more in the future. I've just found that the sentiment of not aggressively bantering your friends means you aren't genuine. It just makes sense to me. I just don't like some people. I just don't like doing it with. Um, but we still talk about important things, and they're very stable columns in my life, and I definitely do need them. After going through something stressful, I can come to them, and I know that like while all this other stuff is in the back of my mind, right? I won't have to. There's no part of my overthinking where they can say something, and because I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna like react to it heavily. Like it's just that's just not the type of relationship we have. It's just like it's pure positivity, right? And even for these relationships, you don't have to be with a person like all the time. Um, for example, I have one friend. His name is Chris, and whenever I don't talk to him for a long time, it's like chill. But whenever we come back together, it's like we never left, right? But I change and I become like a different person. Where when I'm talking with them, I say like all the slurs, I make all the curse words, and I'm just like completely this different person. Not to the people we're playing against, but just like in comms or we're just talking shit the whole time. Um, but with Logan, it's pure positivity. Whenever we lose a game, it's the enemy's fault. Whenever we start a game, it's like, yeah, we're only gonna get wins. We got this. They're trying to hold us back. Like it's always us two versus the world, and I think that's like the big thing with relationships that I wish more people would get on board with. It's us versus them, not everyone versus me. I think some relationships kind of that's where they fail at, where someone feels as though, oh, it's also this person versus me. Like there's so much BS you're gonna get from the world that to also get that from your partner, I think kind of sucks. And I'm moving into this whole different place with partners, but I think the it's an essence in all of your relationships where some relationships, yeah, they're gonna be it's gonna be the world and them against you, right? But sometimes you're willing to handle that, and sometimes that brings a little bit more um, what's the word? More variety, more emotion. I do think that there was a certain point where I didn't have those, where I only had the positive relationships, and part of me felt kind of bored because I was like, well, where's the drama? Where's the action? And then I got lots of freaking action at one time, and it was only then that I really, really appreciated the friendships were that just brought me joy with no setbacks, with no having to question what their motives are. Um, and if you talk, even if you talk trash with a friend, I think depending on what your emotion is, different people, I think it's just a human thing where you could think that this person has like good emotions on any other day, but just on one day, just a good culmination of factors come in and you take something very like personally that the other person didn't mean to. And then for some relationships, because of how consistently good it is, I never have that. We've never crossed that line ever. I remember, and even still wanting that friends type of relationship where everyone hangs out. Some people have their inside jokes because they hang out more, but like overall, everyone is cool, does things together. I realized it's only after I stopped being in those friendships that I realized that I had been in what I wanted the whole time. But one thing that made it hard for me to enjoy it in that moment was it's my overthinking of I always want to know if other people are enjoying themselves. Like my main goal wasn't about like how do I feel? Am I okay with this? It's like, oh, is that person okay? I see that person in the corner. Let me go over there and talk to them, right? And instead of like forming the bonds that I wanted to make, I was just like trying to make sure people are having a good time, but that impedes on your enjoyment, and then you just get like carried up in it, which sucks. And I could be wrong. Maybe people are totally fine with having relationships with banter, and whenever one annoys you, you just move on to the next one. But if you're anyone like me, if you're someone like me, I just think it pays dividends heavily to just have relationships where it's positivity and good vibes. Even now, I don't have that type of friend relationship now, but I think I will have it in the future. And I am constantly thinking of ideas of like, oh, my friend group plays like truth or drink with each other, or one of those like videos there where it's like we're just all it's just fun, or it's like, oh, do you slightly disagree, very hard disagree, super agree with this, like what do you feel, right? And we all get to just like talk about that while everyone knowing that we're all good people. But at the same time, it's like one of my first groups in college, the during like the first week when we still didn't like know everybody, I couldn't go to the bars that we had on campus, and there was this guy that went, and everyone else that could go, they were like, yeah, the dude is acting really weird and really strange, and it's being creepy, and like I, even though I was the newest there, took it upon myself to be like, yo, like we need to talk about this, and you got to go. And I think, yeah, I personally talked to him like, yo, like heard this happened. This person feeling comfortable. You got to leave. And I think it's so easy for me to take up that mantle of, yes, it's me. I'll protect everyone, right? Stops me from being like, but am I enjoying myself? And again, if you're anyone like me, you should take. If you're anyone like me, you should take time to be in the moment and enjoy the moment because you don't know how long it's gonna last. It's Mars. I stream, by the way. You probably have made it to end, but if you do, type one in the comments again. I'm gonna do another farm question mark. Any farmers? We're at the end now. No one ever watches this far, so I can just like do whatever I want, I guess. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U. Do you guys like Not Like Us? I thought Not Like Us was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I've also been listening to Homicide Gang and the Kanye West. Keep My Spirit Alive. I freaking love that song. And then Be Quiet with Yeet. Oh my goodness, bro. And then Pure Crystal. If you haven't heard Pure Crystal, it's like this EDM thing. EDM sounds go crazy. And then Take Off Everything, which is like Kendrick Lamar and Radiohead mix. That's good too. Oh, and then also Pink Dreads. And then what's that other song? Devil in a New Dress extended intro, I think. That one goes nuts. Okay, I'm out. Bye bye. Don't die. Stay safe.